Hey everybody, how's it going? Today we're going to be going over and walking you through the installation here of the Truxedo Low Pro soft tonneau cover here on a 2021 Ram 1500. So for starters, this particular cover here is going to be specific to models with the 5.5 foot bed and that have the RamBoxes, which you can see we have here. And best of all, if you guys have the multifunction tailgate here, that's actually going to work great with this cover. There's going to be no interference whatsoever. So there's really two main types of tonneau cover options on the market. You have the soft tonneau covers, which is what the Low Pro is, and you have the hard tonneau covers. So right away, in regards to cost, the soft tonneau covers are definitely going to be more cost effective than the hard tonneau covers, and they are still great options. It really just comes down to what you're going to be using the cover for. Now, if you just want something that's going to look good and cover the truck bed, that's where the soft tonneau cover is going to come into place. These things work really well. They're going to do a great job of saving you some extra fuel economy there because you don't have the wind hitting the tailgate, and they just look great installed on the vehicle. There's one major benefit, however, of a hard tonneau cover over a soft tonneau cover, and that comes down to security. So if you're someone that keeps a lot of expensive tools in your truck bed there and you're worried about them getting stolen, I don't think a soft tonneau cover is necessarily your best choice, although it will work, because let's face it, anyone with a knife could just come up here and cut a hole in your vinyl there and steal whatever they have in the truck bed. So they don't really offer the best security. That's definitely where a hard tonneau cover is going to be more geared towards you guys if you see security is one of the main features you're looking for. Now, another quick thing, soft tonneau covers, they also stand out more over hard tonneau covers because they're easier to use. Most of your hard tonneau covers, they have those large folding panels, which are really cumbersome to fold back, and they can get quite heavy when you've stacked a couple of them together. With the soft tonneau covers, the rolling type, such as this one here, they're very easy to roll up towards the cab there if you need to haul some larger items, and they're also very easy to re-secure. So let's go ahead and show you how easy it is to use. Now, we mentioned security being a weak point of the soft tonneau cover. I would like to point out that you can't actually open the cover unless the tailgate is open. So if your truck has a locking tailgate, it is going to provide some security in that regard. But again, we can't do anything about someone cutting the vinyl. But we're going to go ahead and show you how to open the cover. You know, let's say you have a couch that you need to haul one day or a refrigerator, and the cover is obviously not going to work for that. So you need a way to easily get it out of the way so you can get those items in the bed. Well, you don't have to remove the cover completely. There's going to be a little tab here at the bottom. You're just going to pull up, and that's actually going to release the cover. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to begin folding it backwards. So it's just basically just going to roll up onto itself. You can see the hook and loop fasteners on the side there. So those are just going to release. We have these little support bars here that helps everything keep a nice tight roll. You can kind of see this is a very compact roll here. It's not sloppy. I don't have one side rolling more than the other side. This is a very neat and compact roll. And most of that has to do with those support bars there. But we'll just fold it all the way back to the cab here. And then what's great is we can actually secure the cover in this position here when we need to take off down the road. So on the underside of each side, you're going to have these little hooks. And then on the back side there, you're going to have the little loops. Just loop that over like so. And now our cover is secure once we get that done on the other side. While we have it rolled up here, another thing I'd like to point out is an advantage over a hard tonneau cover. A lot of the hard tonneau covers, the folding kind especially, when you have them folded up towards the cab there, they pretty much block your entire back window. Now with this one here, we just have a pretty small profile roll here, and it actually doesn't even really sit up above the back of the seat. So you're gonna get 100% visibility out of your back window, which is really nice. So there's not gonna be any visibility clearance. And just to show you, with the RamBox here, we can open the lid all the way. It does sort of crush the roll there just a tiny bit when it's all the way folded up, but you're not gonna damage anything. It's just barely putting any pressure on there whatsoever. So total clearance there. Now, when we're done hauling those larger items and we'd like to roll out our tonneau cover again, it is very easy. Pretty much just the same process in reverse. We don't have to jump in back and forth from side to side. We can do everything from one side, and that's due to those metal bars there. So we're just going to unroll it here. And then I'm just going to leave the keepers in there now. I'm not going to lock it quite yet, but you can see this little metal lip there does have to go inside that little pocket there. We just need to make sure that's the same on both sides. And then we actually want to go ahead and close your tailgate before you lock it. And then although this step isn't required here, once you do get it latched into position, I like to just come back here and just make sure all the hook and loop fasteners press down. It should do this automatically when you latch it if you have the correct tension, but it's something I just like to do. It's just an extra measure of precaution here. You can see I really wasn't pushing anything down. It was already secured there, but again, just an extra little step there if you want. So as you may have determined from the name Low Pro, this is a low profile tonneau cover. It barely sticks above the bed here. I would say anywhere from 3/4 to an inch. Just barely sticks above the edges of the bed there, which makes for a nice, sleek, finished install look. And again, that just sort of plays into your fuel economy as well. So one common question we get asked here at eTrailer in regards to tonneau covers is weather resistance, weatherproofing, waterproofing, whatever you want to call it. So no tonneau cover on the market is going to be advertised as completely waterproof. Let's face it, there's always a small chance of water getting in no matter what cover you go with. With the Low Pro here, you'll see we have these gaskets around all of our outside edges as well as back at the tailgate here. And this is going to do a phenomenal job of keeping the vast majority of water out. So in regards to installation, this is very, very simple. All we really need to look at is one of our clips. So there's going to be 3 of these per side, and they're very easy. So this is actually going to tie into this deck rail system in our truck bed here. There's actually a channel in the top of that. So you're going to take your metal bracket, you're going to sit it within that channel there. It's going to have a nice little lip there to hold on to it. And then you're going to have a nut and a bolt there that has a channel nut on the end that's going to catch inside that track there. And that's basically going to secure your bracket here to the rail. And then as you can see here, we're just going to simply bolt that to the rail to our tonneau cover. So you're just going to repeat that same process for 3 of the brackets on this side and then 3 on the other side. It's just that simple. Once you get the rails in, you're going to be placing the roll cover on. So the rails are individual pieces. There's going to be one of these per side. The cover doesn't come attached to those. But once you get the rails on using the prescribed method that we showed you, you're going to have some little release levers here. So you're just going to push these all the way towards the center. That's going to release the locks, and then you're just going to be able to drop this in place here over at the seal here closest to your cab. And then you're pretty much just going to be unraveling it and trying to lock it in at the rear. So we'll go ahead and do that. But what we need to pay attention to now is our tension knobs. So our tension knobs are going to allow us to decrease or increase tension of our cover here. This is basically going to allow us to get a nice tight seal on the side here of our cover when we close it and latch it into position. Now granted, you need to be doing this when the tailgate's closed, but we can show you everything while it's open. So that's why we're doing that. So these little metal parts here are going to line up with these grooves here on our cover. And then how we lock this into place is we basically just push down on the outside edge. So having too little tension is going to make that too easy, and it's not going to seal the sides, and we're going to get a lot of slack in our cover, which is not something we want. But having it too tight is going to require too much force to be able to push this down with one hand. So we're looking for a happy medium to where we can still push this down without too much force, and we're getting a nice and tight seal here on the edges without a lot of slack in your cover. So that's how you'll just simply turn that adjustment screw back and forth. But aside from that, your installation is done. This is very, very simple on this truck here. Really just going to require some common hand tools. It's definitely something you can do at home in an afternoon and around an hour or so, just depending on your experience level. And that's going to do it for our look and walkthrough of the installation on the Truxedo Low Pro soft tonneau cover here on a 2021 Ram 1500.